Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Good morning actually. It's 7 a.m. So good morning. I greet you from the comfort of my own pajamas. My name is Rafaela and today's very short journal entry is titled as Who's Clapping? Now I've been thinking about how much of what we do in our life is shaped by this audience, whether it's physical or an imagined audience. And from a young age, we're taught to seek out approval, the thumbs up or the thumbs down, to look for the golden star, the pat on the back, the round of applause at the end of our performances. And it's comforting to know that someone is watching, that they're noticing and appreciating. But the older I grow, the more I wonder, who is clapping now? Who is clapping now? And more importantly, why do I need them to, right? It's strange how this invisible applause can shape our choices. Even when no one is physically there, we often act as if we have this audience in our head and that someone is always watching. We measure success through imagined reactions. What will people think? What will they say? How will they judge? And it's as though we carry this silence within us of this audience that never leaves the room and is always there to either applaud when we achieve or frown when we fail or even whisper criticism in our quietest moments. Now the problem with that is that the louder that inner clapping or booing becomes, the harder it is to hear our own genuine voice beneath it. A good example would be me doing these videos, right? Talking to the camera and sharing my thoughts to an audience that may or may not exist. There's always the lingering question of who's watching. Am I reaching people? Am I filling out the purpose of wanting to connect and to comfort and to reassure, to teach lessons to people? Or am I just speaking into the void? But then I wonder, should the act of me recording and doing something that I actually enjoy to do depend on that uncertainty? Should my willingness to express myself hinge on whether or not someone is there to receive it? Maybe the truest purpose is found in the act itself, the process of speaking honestly, creating without guaranteed, and finding meaning in the expression rather than the responses. Perhaps life's true moments happen when there is no one to watch, there is no audience, when the room is empty and the applause has faded. When no one is clapping, the question then becomes, though, would I still do this? Would I still create, love, persist, or grow, even if no one noticed? And there's a quite kind of freedom in realizing that meaning doesn't depend on recognition. The value of an act can exist in its doing, not in its witnessing. A flower that blooms unseen, it's still beautiful, and the melody that's played along, it's still music at the end of the day. Maybe the real challenge isn't finding out who's clapping, but learning to clap for ourselves. To find satisfaction in the simple act of being honest in what we do, regardless of the audience. Our applauses fade and attention shifts, but authenticity endures. And when we learn to move through life without constantly seeking the echo of approval, we begin to understand that peace doesn't come from being seen, it comes from seeing ourselves clearly. So, who's clapping? Sometimes no one. And maybe that's when the performance truly begins. If you're watching this, here's what I'll say to you. Don't wait for the world to start clapping before you do something meaningful. The world may not notice right away, and sometimes maybe it never will. But that doesn't make your effort any less real. Keep doing the things that feel true to you and feel true to the person who you are. Keep speaking, creating, and trying even when the room is silent. Because one day you'll look back and realize that in those quiet moments, the ones without any applause, is the ones that build your strength and your voice and your peace. And when the clapping finally comes along, because everything has its moment to shine. You know that you didn't do it for the validations of those claps, but that you did it for yourself. And yeah, today that was the whole journal entry. Very short, but I would like to mention that I think this is sort of the question that goes through everyone's mind when they get over the fear of being seen publicly, of putting out content. I feel like sometimes, even when people say that they do it for themselves, we're still checking comments, we're still checking likes. Oh, why is the views going down? Oh, no one followed, no one liked, no one, and it just becomes this very draining experience of turning something that you truly enjoyed into a graph or a chart, and constantly looking at if it's going up or down and mentally beating yourself up for it. And it could also be taken in a philosophical way, much more deeper than that this happens in all the moments, not just for the content creators, not just when we post ourselves on social media, but think about the things that you do with an audience in your head. Think about the things that you do not because you want to do them for yourself, not because they interest you or because you have a deep-rooted passion for, but because you do it for the approval that others give you. So, as always, I hope you guys take care of yourselves. I hope you have an amazing day, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.